pick for all the big bowl games, with one major conference going winless. Which one? Find out at 1 Eastern on Brasillo and Canal on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
And now, a bedtime story from Stan Ferret.
There he goes up the middle, breaking tackles with ease. Cam goes into the end zone, making it look like a breeze. They could have stopped what happens next if they didn't let him in. Instead, it's touchdown Cam Newton. Let the napping begin.
Like bedtime stories for sports fans, Sports Center at night on ESPN. And your day on a highlight. Nightly, 11 p.m., 12 a.m., and 1 a.m. Eastern.
This is your game. The NBA is on ESPN Radio.
Who's in for the new tradition as the college football playoff semifinals kick off? First up at 4 Eastern, it's number 4 Oklahoma taking on number 1 Clemson in the Capital One Orange Bowl. Then at 8 Eastern, number 3 Michigan State and number 2 Alabama face off in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, only on ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN app this New Year's Eve. So plan accordingly.
You can feel a buzz in the air. You know something special is about to occur.
Clemson, Oklahoma, followed by Alabama, Michigan State. The College Football Playoff, 3 Eastern. New Year's Eve on ESPN and ESPN Radio.
NFL Insiders and Sunday NFL Countdown. A new way to get coast-to-coast league coverage on Sunday morning. Start your day with the Insiders team for all the latest headlines and breaking news. Then, the Countdown crew goes inside the storylines as only they can.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. NFL Insiders and Sunday NFL Countdown. Meet the new NFL Sunday morning. Sunday, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
ESPN Radio on demand. The Fantasy Focused Football Podcast.
You know, the trick with Eli is he's been one of those quarterbacks that if you own him, you probably have been starting him, but there have been some weeks you'd had to live through with Eli. If you started him last night, though, hello.
Here's the entire list of quarterbacks with more completions and more touchdowns than Eli Manning this year. Tom Brady, and that's it. That's the whole list.
The Fantasy Focused Football Podcast. Listen to it now on ESPNRadio.com.
Southeast Missouri's home for the St. Louis Blues. ESPN 1220.
We can't club.
Yeah! ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what you need to know. Positive news for the Panthers on 2 key offensive players. Running back Jonathan Stewart with a sprained foot. Tight end Greg Olsen, knee injury. Both underwent MRIs. ESPN's Ed Werder reports neither injury is thought to be long-term. Both men day-to-day. Undefeated Carolina clinches home field advantage in the NFC with a victory Sunday against the Giants. Also from Ed Werder, the Ravens decided to sign quarterback Ryan Mallett after he told them he's received professional help in the wake of problems he had while he was with the Texans. Mallett missed Houston's flight to Miami and was released in late October. Ravens starter Joe Flacco is recovering from knee surgery, and backup Matt Schaub has a chest injury. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones told 105.3 The Fan they won't be shutting down receiver Dez Bryant. Knee, ankle injuries have led to less practice time and fewer opportunities to work with quarterback Castle. The last 3 games, Bryant's got 6 catches, 97 yards, and 0 touchdowns. Baylor coach Art Briles told the Orlando Sentinel sophomore quarterback Chris Johnson gets the start in the Russell Athletic Bowl against North Carolina.
This time of year, don't settle for watching football at home. Go where you feel football rich. Buffalo Wild Wings has wall-to-wall TVs, countless taps, and the ultimate football watching food. Spend the road to playoffs at Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Please drink responsibly.
For the Saturday Morning Express. Catch it every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. on ESPN. This is a local sports center update from Southeast Missouri's ESPN Radio Network.
I'm Eric Shawn. This Sports Center update is brought to you by Bertrand Law Firm. Visit TreyBertrand.com. The St. Louis Blues get back on the ice tonight in Winnipeg. The note is 5-5-3 in the last 13 games. Their offense is still a struggle. They scored just one goal on 43 shots. Sunday's loss to Colorado. The Blues ranked 7th in the NHL in shots taken per game. They also ranked 20th in goals scored per game. Face-off in Winnipeg tonight at 7. You can hear it on SEMO ESPN 92.9 FM. We have a full slate of high school basketball tonight. Notre Dame welcomes New Madrid County Central at 7:30. That game airs on SEMO ESPN 1220. Jackson is at home to host Dexter, also at 7:30 on 93.9 FM The River. Sykeston, fresh off its SEMO Conference Tournament Championship, welcomes Greene County Tech at 7:30 on 1400 KSIM. The Missouri basketball team tries to regroup after a 36-point loss to 13th-ranked Arizona. Mizzou hosts North Carolina Saturday at 5. And it's finals week at Southeast Missouri State. The Red Hawk basketball teams have no midweek games. The Red Hawk men play at Northern Kentucky Saturday. The women host SIU next Tuesday.
Get Sports Center updates every hour on Southeast Missouri's ESPN 92.9 FM and 1220 AM.
The conversation has been growing about Wings Etc. See, Wings Etc. has those award-winning jumbo wings. They're popular for both dine-in and carry-out. Now, the word is getting out about Wings Etc.'s appetizer lineup. From the ultimate nachos to the deep-fried pickle spears, frankly, they're irresistible. Friends are sharing time together at Wings Etc. They've got dining rooms filled with HD TVs tuned to the best sports programming, including NFL Sunday Ticket. The people at the next table are talking about Wings Etc.'s daily half-pound lunch special, starting at just $6.49. Plus, Wings Etc. has food and drink specials throughout the week, including 59-cent wings every Monday. Plus, there's the kids menu, and Wings Etc. is family-friendly with video games in the dining room. And the whole community is excited about how Wings Etc. is locally owned and operated, and they're proud to support local athletes, their families, schools, and teams. I guess Wings Etc. is a really big deal around here.
You're grilling for everyone on game day, and people are hungry. More than that, they're hangry, and it's 95 degrees out. And they're thirsty. That's right. People are thrangry. They need to chill, and that gives you an idea. You remember Coors Light is filtered and bottled cold, so you're passing cold ones out. Suddenly, it's like they're snowboarding the majestic Rocky Mountains, speeding away from the peaks of Thrangly and down the slopes of yes. So they make with the cheering and let you get with the grilling. Well done. Now it's time for your Coors Light. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer, great responsibility.
There are lots of reasons to love the holidays, and now, during the Ford Holiday Sales Event, America's best-selling brand is giving you more. Big holiday savings on amazing vehicles, including built-for tough trucks, cars that thrill by design, and SUVs that will help you be unstoppable. All with the technology, performance, and style you'll love. So don't miss the Ford Holiday Sales Event. Hurry to your Ford dealer for the best gift ever. Claim based on 2014 calendar year sales data.
And now, your ESPN Radio Network local weather forecast.
National Weather Service calling for sunshine the rest of today and a high of about 57. Tonight, a slight chance of rain, 30% chance of showers tomorrow with a high of 60. Then we go downhill, 45 sunny on Thursday, 42 our high on Friday, 46 sunny on Saturday, about 52 with plenty of sunshine by Sunday, another batch of rain by Monday afternoon.
You're up to date with the latest weather forecast right here on the ESPN Radio Network. This is your local home for Mike and Mike, the Sports Huddle, and all your favorite teams. Get it all right here.
Makes my day go great.
On the SEMO ESPN Sports Network. This is a proud presentation of Mississippi River Radio Sports, the sports authority.
Check this out right here.
It's time now for the Redhawks Coaches Show on the SEMO ESPN Radio Sports Network. The Southeast Coaches Show airs every Tuesday at noon on ESPN 92.9 FM and 1220 AM from Wings Etc. in Cape and Jackson. This is your chance to delve deep into the Redhawks basketball season with head coach Rick Gregg. So what do you say?
Come on, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go live to Wings Etc. on SEMO ESPN.
It is the Kofeld Distributing Redhawks Coaches Show. We are live at Wings Etc. in Cape Girardeau. People filing in for lunchtime, and we invite you to join us for lunch. You can choose from a very big menu. If you think all they have are the award-winning jumbo wings for dine-in and carry-out, then you have not scanned the Wings Etc. menu. They have a full menu featuring freshly made burgers, if that's what you'd like, wraps, subs, quesadillas. They have entree salads. They have smoked ribs and much more. If you'd like to hit the appetizer lineup, that includes their ultimate nachos and their spicy deep-fried pickle spears. You'll notice the flat-screen high-def TVs when you walk in. They've always got the best sports programming, lots of sports right now. I don't know how much of it is live, but they've got a lot of sporting events going on right now. I see some highlights from last night's Monday Night Football victory for the New York Giants, and it is a terrific, comfortable, laid-back atmosphere. Hey, you want to watch the Rams game Thursday night against Tampa Bay? Wings Etc. is the place. They have the NFL Sunday ticket right here at Wings. A lot to get to. Coach Rick Ray, we've known about this in advance. He had scheduled it a while back, but he's on a recruiting trip, just got on a plane to Charlotte, North Carolina. So Coach Ray is going to rejoin us next week, so that means we get to diversify our guest lineup. We're going to talk it over with the Redhawks women's basketball coach. Rika Patterson is here. Redhawk assistant Adam Gordon is going to join us, and Southeast All-Conference guard Antonius Cleveland is here. I just saw him make his order, so his food is headed to his booth. Coming up, we'll talk with Antonius Cleveland. So a lot to get to, and let's welcome in Redhawks women's basketball coach Rika Patterson. Now, we got to get you in and out because, practice is pretty quick. When are you hitting the floor here?
They're actually going to start at 12:30, so I'm going to be running a little bit behind, but Coach Arnold will get them started.
What happens if a player runs behind?
Oh, no, they don't. It's not really an option.
All right, you are off to a tremendous start. If I told you before the season started that you did not have an option of going 11-0, but I told you against the schedule that you're facing, especially with that brutal stretch of 6 straight road games, that you would be 6-5 right now. Would that have been all right with you? Obviously, you want to win every game, but if I told you 6-5 through 11 games, looking at your schedule, how would you have felt?
Probably would have been very pleased with that. I'm happy for the girls that we're seeing some success, but I like the way we're playing. Prior to that last home game, we had the energy, the effort, the attitude, the way we compete, the way we stick together. Those are the things that I wanted to see in our non-conference. And yes, it was brutal, that 6-game road trip that we had. And we played some really good basketball teams. And so, I would have been proud, would have been happy with the 6-5 record. But I feel like there's so much more in this team.
Well, I think the first time you really made a statement this year, and see if you agree or disagree, I think the first statement that this team made in kind of announcing what type of a team it potentially could be or the identity of the team is to go to Western Illinois on November 24th and beat the Leathernecks 89-84. And at that time, that extended your winning streak to 4 straight games. And in a preseason OVC poll, SIU Edwardsville is picked to be the number 1 team. They're a very experienced team, got a lot of quality players coming back. SIU Edwardsville went to Western Illinois and lost. You go to Western Illinois and win. Was that the first big important win so far this season?
I don't know if it's the first big important win. I think when you're changing the culture of a program, any win is a big win. But to go on the road and play a Western Illinois team that, yes, beat SIUE, and also they were so close to beating Iowa at Iowa, that was a big win for us, again, going on the road and, again, against a really good team. I don't know if our players realized that, but for the coaches, yes, we realized that was a big win.
So then all of a sudden, maybe freshman Adriana Murphy had to take a little bigger role with Bree Mitchell out because of an injury going into that game. And boy, did she play well. She had a double-double, double-digit points, double-digit assists. What were your thoughts on the way that she performed specifically in that game?
Was not expecting that. It's a big stage for a freshman to have to come in and start. I thought that the other 4 players that were on the floor with her, they did a really good job of making it easy on her. Adri is a natural leader, and she's got this something about her that makes her really competitive and want to succeed. And she loves putting on that uniform. And I was happy that her parents were able to be there to see her first start, and happy that she played so well.
The important thing for me is I need a review of Aurelio's Pizza because I grew up in Macomb, and that was my favorite place in the whole world to eat. What did you think of Aurelio's?
Well, you go in and, it's got that different vibe. So it was like fun to be there. And the food was delicious. The girls all ate and enjoyed everything that they ate. And so thank you for that heads up about it.
Oh, I love Aurelio's. They said they didn't have the upstairs open when you go in there. But have you ever seen a pizza place that large that can seat that many people?
I don't think I have. And it wasn't available. So we were in this room with
Party
some other
room.
people. Yeah. It was very much so a party room. But it was fun.
Good to hear the good Aurelio's. Sometimes we get those pizzas shipped on dried ice to our house. Yeah, that's how much we like it. Then you go and you play a tournament down in El Paso, Texas, and it looks like you're probably going to knock off Idaho State. They throw in a 3-pointer at the buzzer to beat you by 1. You're coming off that Western Illinois win. What was that one like?
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah.
I saw the young ladies fight in that game. We got down. They had made a little run there. I think it was the third quarter. And we sort of they looked at each other and they believed, and they got a stop, and they'd come down and score. And they'd get a stop and come down and score. Next thing you know, we're up with the ball. And I think it may have been like 40 seconds to go. And, have a shot to go up 3. We get an offensive rebound and we put it back up and they block it. And then just the luck of the bounce. I mean, we had fouls to give and we gave 2, and then they made a bad play and it almost goes to half court, and they recover it, make 2 passes, and a young lady's wide open. And I think they had maybe hit 1 3 the entire game. And this is a young lady who doesn't necessarily shoot the 3. She's more of a driver. But it was, sometimes the ball bounces for you and sometimes it bounces against you. And that was a tough one because they played really hard. And again, we were coming off that Western Illinois win and could have got us to a 5-game win streak. And but I think we learned from it, and I think we were able to use that experience in the Wichita State game.
I think it's interesting because you've coached a lot of games. What goes through a coach's mind, because you've been on the positive side probably of buzzer beaters and on the side where you end up, oh, man, are you kidding me? What goes through your mind when you see that shot going up, knowing if it doesn't go, you win, if it goes, you lose? What goes through a coach's mind? Put us there.
Well, I thought about the team first, and I hurt for them because they had worked so hard. And again, you're dealing with young women who have not had a lot of success as far as wins, and to see them fight really, really hard to come back and take the lead against a good basketball team. Again, you couldn't look at their record because they had played a really good non-conference schedule to that point. But to see them fight so hard and then have them lose like that, I hurt for my players. But, we had to regroup. And again, Coach Arnold, I think he had a great quote. He said, sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. And again, I think we were able to learn from that game in the Wichita State game.
All right. You suffer a loss at Mizzou, and I think it's fair to say no OVC team is going to go to Missouri and beat that team. They are really good. And then you go to Wichita State. You're thinking, okay, 3-time defending Missouri Valley Conference champions. I think there was something like 17-1 in their last 18 games on that floor. They tie it up late, and you could have easily had thoughts of the Idaho State game. Oh man! So now you're going to overtime. It looked like maybe you've got this game won, and then in overtime you fall behind. Come back, win the game, and then you have a freshman, Amani Johnson, step up and ice the deal from the free throw line. This is a game right after you suffer a big loss at the University of Missouri. What was that like, and was that a springboard potentially for the rest of the season?
It was a great win against a really, really good program. And it's funny, the young ladies were, they look at scores and, they watch games. And they said, Coach, did you see that Wichita State versus Tennessee score? Because Wichita State went to Tennessee, and I think they lost to them by 8. And they said, Coach, does that mean we're good? That was literally their question. And they talked about, how UMKC beat Kansas at Kansas earlier in the week. And I said, you know what? I think that we are an above-average team right now. I think there's a lot that we can get better at. I think the things that we're doing well, we need to continue to do those things and continue to sharpen our skills. I don't want us peaking right now. I don't want this to be our best basketball. I want our best basketball to happen once we get to conference play. And I think it will be a bit of a springboard. I was pleased that our young ladies were checking scores, because a lot of times when you deal with athletics, they just look at their games. They don't necessarily look at other scores. But I like that they're engaged in women's basketball. I like that they are engaged in what we're doing. And hopefully, that Wichita State win will show us that we can go on the road against a really good program that's had a lot of success. And we can fight hard and stick together. And, we didn't shoot it well that game, but we found a way to come out of there with a win.
And you follow that up with really a demolition of Lipscomb. I mean, it's fairly competitive through 3 quarters on the road. You guys really stepped on the gas pedal in the 4th quarter. That had to be a good sign for you.
Yeah, Deja Jones had a great game. It was her birthday. She was playing at home in Nashville. I thought Hannah No hit some big threes for us. Monty had another good game. Our seniors did a good job of leading us. That was our very first game without Olivia. And so I'm sure that there were question marks about how are we going to respond to that, because she provided so much offensive production for us. But I thought they all did just a little bit more, and that helped us. Against, again, a good Lipscomb program. They have some players on there that are hard to guard.
Rika Patterson is the Redhawks women's basketball coach. It's the Colfeld Distributing Redhawks Coaches Show. We are live at Wings, etc. in Cape Girardeau. So you finally get back home. Finally. You only play your 3rd home game of the year on Sunday against Central Arkansas. The Sugar Bears win the game 63-54, and you knew going in, first of all, your number 1 player, Olivia Hackman, out, averaging 16 points a game. We'll talk more about her in a moment. But you knew going in, just watching video, the number 1 scoring defense in their conference, in the Southland Conference, the number 1 field goal percent defensive team, and a +10 rebounding team. That was a good team that came to the Show Me Center Sunday.
Absolutely, a good team. Coach Rushing's been there about 4 years now, and, they've got 2 preseason all-conference players who are hard to guard, and they know what they do. And, if they don't shoot it, then they're not if they're not shooters, they're not going to shoot that shot. They're going to turn it down and get what they want. And we knew that we were going to have to defend for 20+ seconds on the shot clock. I think their offensive rebounding hurt us. I think our lack of ability to turn some of our offensive rebounds to and ones hurt us. But I was proud that they fought back. I mean, we were down 15 there in the 3rd quarter, and I wasn't happy with our toughness. Was not. But again, they decided, they came together and they fought back to turn it into a 4-point ball game with the ball, and we'll work on executing. And hopefully, again, this type of game will help prepare us in conference.
All right, you're preparing for an extended period of time without your leading scorer and senior, Olivia Hackman, who has a broken bone in her foot. What do we know right now? I know you were talking about, she could try and rehab the foot or the potential for surgery, which would mean the end of her season, yet she is still under the threshold where she could redshirt and come back another year. Do we know much more about the future for Olivia Hackman?
Yeah, she actually talked to her parents last night, and she sent me a text, and she says, Coach, I'm going to cast it. And so she's pretty much done for the next 6 to 8 weeks. Now, you guys have known Olivia longer than I have, and you've seen the ups and downs with her. And you've seen her this season come out and be a different type of player, a more confident basketball player. And in her mind, she has envisioned her senior year being a certain way. And it is not for me to tell her it's not going to be that way. It's for me to support her and encourage her during this time. And so she will cast it and she'll be off of it. And hopefully she can heal fast, because that's what she wants to do. And she wants to be a part of a program, be a part of the team that gets the program back to Nashville. That has been our goal. That will always be our goal, to get to Nashville. And she wants to be a part of that. And she realizes that if her body will not allow her, then lucky for her, she gets the option of redshirting, because I think we fall within that timeline. So, bad news, we don't have her right now. Good news, we could have her all next year.
That would be good news. And it's also, if you're going to find any bright spot in any kind of an injury, it happened at the exact right time where she can redshirt if she wants to redshirt.
Yep, it actually happened the very last possession of regulation against Wichita State. And, if it would have happened the first possession of Lipscomb, then she wouldn't have this option. So things happen for a reason. And the one thing that we cannot control are injuries. And so, next man up, and we will continue to work and get better and make sure our players are confident in what they're doing and what the game plan is, and they're prepared to be successful. And, hopefully, yes, if, Olivia can come back this year, then she will. And if not, then we can have her again for next year.
Speaking of getting better, how about Imani Johnson? Today it was announced that she has been named the Ohio Valley Conference Freshman of the Week. She had a career-high 18 points and 9 rebounds against Lipscomb in your road victory. Another double-digit performance, 10 points, 5 rebounds against Central Arkansas. And we don't want to throw the whammy on her. 23 consecutive made free throws. What a way to start your freshman year. We're trying to research to see what the school record might be for consecutive made free throws, but what a start to her freshman season.
Yeah, it is. I think early on she was rushing, and that's to be expected for someone who sat out for a full year and didn't play basketball, that they're going to rush, and she's going to have some freshman moments. But I think she is starting to let the game come to her. I think that she is starting to settle in to her role, and she's starting to excel at it, and I'm happy for her.
All right, SIU, a team that finished, I believe, 5th in the Missouri Valley last year, won 17 ball games, and they have a huge portion of their starting lineup back. I think 4 starters back from last year. This is a really good team, and I guess you could say it starts with Rashonda Napier, their point guard, who is a top 5 scorer in the Missouri Valley Conference, but maybe the most valuable player on the team is Diana Pierre. She led the Valley in rebounding last year. She leads the Valley in rebounding and block shots this year, 12th in the nation in rebounding. What a player she is. How tough of a matchup is it going to be when SIU comes here next Tuesday with Diana Pierre?
Obviously, what Coach Stein does is, she's a great coach. Been doing it a long time and had a lot of success. And she will, have her team prepared. And for us, I watched a little bit of Southern Illinois last night, but I was more concerned about my team and us getting better, not just for this game next Tuesday, but getting better for what we're going to see after Christmas. Making sure that we have the right mindset, making sure that we're not okay with just being 6-5, because we're a few plays away from having a different record. And so, yes, I know this is going to be a very difficult matchup for us. We're going to have our hands full because they are talented. You got some seasoned and veteran players on that team, and so they played a lot of minutes together. But I want to make sure when we get back on that floor and our fans come back out and support us the way they did on Sunday, that they see a team that's tough, that's physical, that's ready to play, that plays with great energy, effort, and attitude. They see those things. And again, yes, I'm happy with our record, but are we getting better? Are we getting better every single game? Are we getting better every single day? Are we starting to turn the page on some things? That's what I'm more focused on. And that's why our practice for the next couple of weeks, it will be very competitive. And there will be a lot of conditioning in it. Because I got to see what's going to happen when my players get hit. How are we going to respond to that? I was telling them in our mid-year evaluation meetings that we have going on right now, it's not going to get any easier. The way the game was on Sunday, that's what I'm expecting to see all of conference. People are going to be physical. They're going to take away your first and second option. And so you've got to be tough enough to get to that third option, and tough enough to crash the boards, and tough enough to get stops. So we're going to focus on that. And then as the week ends and our young ladies are finished with finals, then we can start preparing for SIU.
Crashing the boards and getting stops. You have been doing that. You're number 2 in rebounding margin in the Ohio Valley Conference. You're number 3 in field goal percent defense, number 2 in 3-point field goal percent defense. So defense and rebounding have really been a calling card for this team.
Yeah, I think it has to be. If you're trying to win games, if you're trying to go on the road and win, then you have to be able to defend and rebound. And if you're having a hard time shooting the ball, then getting second and third opportunities will definitely help. Anytime we can get to the free throw line, anytime we can get Imani Johnson to the free throw line, we'll take it.
All right, it's Christmas time, and you and I were talking prior to the show. Now you've got family coming in here, and you're totally prepared for Christmas and the family coming in, right?
I'm going to say this. Thanks to Coach Ray's wife for decorating our office, because otherwise this would just be, I couldn't even tell you that it was close to the holiday season. I have never put up a Christmas tree because I've never really been home during the holidays. So this will be my first time putting up a Christmas tree. The team's going to come over and we're going to have our holiday party. And I don't have, thank you. Oh, there you go. I don't have the tree. I don't have ornaments. I don't have anything up in my yard. I don't have anything. So if anybody has anything extra they'd like to drop off, please feel free to drop it off for me. I'll take it. I have no time to go shop for anything. But yes, my family's going to be coming in and spending Christmas. I'm going to be hosting my first Christmas, which is, I guess it makes me a true adult now, huh? But I'm not ready for that because I really don't know how to cook, but they're going to cook. I don't even think I have enough pots and pans for them to cook everything, but we'll make it work, I guess.
Well, it sounds like you're totally prepared and ready to go. And it also, I would guess, you're having the team over to your house. I guarantee you some of them have put up Christmas trees with the family. So I think you're going to have plenty of experienced help coming over to help.
You're right. I think I will. I think they'll have a good time. They've been over there before, and we had a good time. I've got a basement that I don't ever use. It's there for the team. And so when they come back over, they'll have the basement and they'll enjoy themselves. And it'll be fun for us to just be around each other. Again, I like my team and I like that they like each other. And we work hard on building team chemistry. And I think that will help us later on in the season.
All right. She's going to hide the team away down in the basement for Christmas. It should be a fun
It's a finished basement. There's
holiday.
a TV and there's a Wii and there's a I bought a karaoke machine for them. How about that?
That's fantastic. Wow. We need to get some get Periscope going, see some of that karaoke with the women's basketball team. So you don't play until a week from today. What do you do with all this time? Obviously, you're going to be practicing, but that's a long time off during a season. You usually don't go 9 days without a game or 8 days without a game.
You don't, but we spent a lot of time on the road, and we spent a lot of time where all we had time to do was prepare for the next game. So this is a time for us to obviously focus on exams, and they will do that, and they will be able to use basketball as a stress reliever. So they'll come and, break a sweat and compete a little bit, and we'll work on us. And then when final exams are over, then we'll start, preparing for the next game and maybe adding some couple things to our playbook. But yeah, I think you got to continue to get in shape. They're going to have a lot of time off, so we can't just come in and not really push them physically. I think you got to compete. I think you got to make sure that they understand what we have done and then what we are trying to do, and that there's so much that we can get better at.
All right, they'll sharpen up on their karaoke this week, I'm sure, as well, in preparation for the big Christmas get-together. Coach, thanks so much. I know you got to run. You got practice, and we will see you a week from Tuesday or a week from today when SIU comes in. Thanks.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that's Coach Rika Patterson. Salukis come in next Tuesday. That's when they're next in action. Assistant Coach Adam Gordon going to join us when we come back. Antonius Cleveland is here as well. We will hear from Maine. That is all straight ahead. It's the Colfeld Distributing Redhawks Coaches Show from Wings, Etc. and Cape on SEMO ESPN.
Maybe it's cold, but this weather's got you thinking about heading to the bar for an ice-cold Coors Light. Maybe it's a bar built into the steep cliff face of the Rocky Mountains with a waterfall that pours down on a multitude of Coors Lights, chilling them with the frigid power of a Rocky Mountain stream. You order one and it suddenly appears in your hand. It's so cold you feel like a giant eagle riding on cool winds, content with your foray into Rocky Mountain country. Forgot about the weather already, didn't you? Thanks, Coors Light. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer, great responsibility.
There are lots of reasons to love the holidays, and now during the Ford Holiday Sales Event, America's best-selling brand is giving you more. Big holiday savings on amazing vehicles, including built Ford tough trucks, cars that thrill by design, and SUVs that will help you be unstoppable. All with the technology, performance, and style you'll love. So don't miss the Ford Holiday Sales Event. Hurry to your Ford dealer for the best gift ever. Claim based on 2014 calendar year sales data.
The conversation has been growing about Wings Etc. See, Wings Etc. has those award-winning jumbo wings. They're popular for both dine-in and carry-out. Now, the word is getting out about Wings Etc.'s appetizer lineup. From the ultimate nachos to the deep-fried pickle spears, frankly, they're irresistible. Friends are sharing time together at Wings Etc. They've got dining rooms filled with HD TVs tuned to the best sports programming, including NFL Sunday Ticket. The people at the next table are talking about Wings Etc.'s daily half-pound lunch special, starting at just $6.49. Plus, Wings Etc. has food and drink specials throughout the week, including 59-cent wings every Monday. Plus, there's the kids menu, and Wings Etc. is family-friendly with video games in the dining room. And the whole community is excited about how Wings Etc. is locally owned and operated, and they're proud to support local athletes, their families, schools, and teams. I guess Wings Etc. is a really big deal around here.
And now, your ESPN Radio Network local weather forecast.
National Weather Service calling for sunshine the rest of today and a high of about 57. Tonight, a slight chance of rain, 30% chance of showers tomorrow with a high of 60. Then we go downhill, 45 sunny on Thursday, 42 our high on Friday, 46 sunny on Saturday, about 52 with plenty of sunshine by Sunday, another batch of rain by Monday afternoon.
You're up to date with the latest weather forecast right here on the ESPN Radio Network.
This is Mike Greenberg for the best in local sports talk and play-by-play. It's SEMO ESPN.
Welcome back to the Colfeld Distributing Redhawks Coaches Show. We are at Wings Etc. in Cape Girardeau. We're here every Tuesday from noon until 1 o'clock, and they've got their lunch specials going on right now. In fact, they've got the daily half-pound lunch specials starting at just $6.49. They've got food and drink specials throughout the week. You know, we had Isaiah Jones on last week, and he said he makes it a point to be here on Monday. Well, the significance of Monday is 59-cent wings every Monday here at Wings Etc. They have a terrific kids menu. They are open 7 days a week. They're open late on the weekends because the games run late. It is Wings Etc., and we certainly invite you to be a part of the atmosphere here anytime, but especially when we are here for lunch during the Coaches Show. And as we mentioned, Coach Rick Ray is flying to Charlotte, North Carolina, so he is out of pocket on a pre-planned recruiting visit. And that is certainly the lifeblood of the program. Assistant Coach Adam Gordon is here. You know all about recruiting. How long have you been a recruiter, and just how accurate is the statement, recruiting is the lifeblood of a program?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, recruiting is huge. I mean, it really is the lifeblood of a program, as you said. And this is my 11th season. First year recruiting at the Division I level, but I've been at the Division II level, junior college. So it's fun to be back out on the road and beating the pavement, trying to find some hidden gems.
See, the thing is, you're from Los Angeles, California, so you're from a major market in the U.S., and you've got all this coaching experience in huge markets like Clemson, South Carolina, Starkville, Mississippi. What's that like? You come from the second largest market in the country to 13,000 population in Clemson, South Carolina, and then Starkville, Mississippi. I don't think there are over 20,000 people population in Starkville. And here you are in Cape Girardeau, population 35,000.
That's right. It's been fun. It's been a great experience. I've been lucky to have a lot of different stops on the way in different communities. And that's the fun part of it is moving and getting to meet new people and work in different environments.
What was it like in Los Angeles?
Los Angeles was great. That's home for me. I was born and raised there, and I love it. Obviously, it's a little bit bigger than Cape Girardeau, but
that's Scotia, yeah.
But that's home. That's home for me.
All right. So, do they call you Hollywood or anything like that?
No. I've avoided those nicknames for a little while.
All right. So, how often are you able to get back to the West Coast?
I try to get out there, maybe twice a year. It's hard during the season, obviously, to get away, but I try to get out there during the summer and holidays when I can.
So are you encouraging Coach Ray? We need to renew that series with Loyola Marymount. We need to get some of these West Coast teams on the schedule.
There's UCLA, USC. We got plenty of opportunities to go play out there.
All right. Well, we were just there, Loyola Marymount last year, so you got here 1 year after that. So you have coached with Coach Ray. Obviously, he has his own style. He has his own system. And we are seeing that system implemented here, most namely the motion offense. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if the motion offense was in your background prior to working alongside Coach Ray. What is your experience with that? And just explain to people how much of a transition that is for a lot of guys to run a motion offense.
Sure. I worked with Coach Ray at Clemson. I was the graduate assistant there, and our head coach was Brad Brownell. And that was really my first exposure to motion offense. And a lot of teams run a variation of motion, And the type of motion that Brad Brownell ran was a variation of the old Bobby Knight motion offenses. He's in that coaching family, and it's challenging. There's really a ton of freedom that we give to the players, and there's no set patterns that they're supposed to do every time. So it's not something you can memorize. It's something you have to learn and understand. And it takes time. It takes a lot of time. And we were really successful with it at Clemson. But even that first year, I remember it wasn't until the end of December, January, February, where we really started to click and guys really started to understand when they can score, when they should attack, and the spacing.
You've signed a couple of guys for next year already with pretty nice resumes. Why don't you run through those guys for us, and how much of a hand did you have in the recruitment?
Sure. We recruit as a staff, so all of our assistants are involved. Coach Ray is really involved. He's great to work for in that he's not afraid to go out and recruit himself.
Which is where he is today.
Exactly. Yeah. We've signed 2 kids early in the early signing period. Ray Kowalski is a shooting guard, and he really was one of the best shooters that we saw on the summer circuit in the AAU tournaments. I mean, he can really, really shoot the ball, high basketball IQ, very, very tough-minded kid. So we're excited to have him, especially with Isaiah Jones graduating. We're going to need another outside threat. And then Denzel Mahoney is from Orlando, Florida. And again, he's a little bit bigger, about 6'5", strong build, and he can really shoot and plays with an unbelievable motor and is diving all over the place. And he'll be a fan favorite quick because he comes in, he plays with big goggles. He's got the old rec specs. So you'll see him flying around the floor. And
so like Kareem.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, speaking of Los Angeles, are they Kareem Abdul-Jabbar goggles?
They are.
All
they
right.
are. They're the old rec specs.
I remember those. And, you're talking about a very fertile recruiting state in the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Was he the 8A Florida Player of the Year down there?
Yeah, as a junior. Yeah, that's
pretty
right.
impressive. 8A. I mean, there's a lot of talent down in Florida.
No, he's a good one. We're lucky to have him.
All right, you mentioned Kowalski. How important is it? Obviously, everybody wants to have shooters,
mm-hmm.
but how specifically is it important in the motion offense to have shooters?
Well, really, any offense, especially motion, but any offense, you have to be able to make the defense come out and guard you and stretch the floor. And the more shooters you have, the more it opens it up for guys like Antonius to drive in there and your bigs to have room to operate in the paint, which is where you want to score the majority of your points, in the paint. But in order to open that up, you have to have shooters that the defense has to respect.
One thing I noticed with Antonius, his career high 25 points in the game against Ole Miss, he was using one of the tools which he is very effective with, and that's the mid-range pull-up jumper.
Absolutely.
I saw more mid-range pull-up jump shots from him on Saturday than I think I've seen. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that he's been working really hard on. And all the credit goes to Antonius because all week in practice, he was focused on getting to his mid-range and his one dribble pull-ups, which is a great shot for him. He's really effective in that area.
Boy, not only because he's 6'6", long arm, and can leap, that's a tough shot to block if you're matching up with him, right?
When he is going full speed and then stops on a dime and jumps up 6 feet in the air, there's no defending it.
All right, we're going to ask him what he stepped on the scale at when he first got here as a freshman and what he's stepping on the scale at right now. But there's a guy that's really worked hard, size and strength. He probably has grown an inch or two since he got here as well. But that's a guy, you've probably dealt with that through the years. Some guys have trouble putting on weight and muscle and everything. That's what Antonio has been working hard. I know he's listed 13 pounds heavier this year than he was last year.
Yeah, and if we get him a couple more wings, he may get a couple more pounds
over
by the end of the day.
Antonius's table.
No, he's done a great job of focusing on that, and it's hard for kids to put on weight because they expend so many calories through practice and weights, and we work them so hard and long that it's hard for them to replace those calories and then put in even more. So you really have to work on eating like you would work on your jump shot, and it's hard for people to do that. I have the opposite problem. I probably eat too much, but
I'm with you.
These guys got to eat more and more and more.
Now, is it a good thing that Antonius hit a three-pointer in the game? Is he going to think he's a three-point gunner now? Is that where we're going?
No, it's a great thing. It's a great thing for him. Anything to give us confidence and make him feel good out there. Antonius works so hard, and he does everything that's asked of him and more. So it's just a matter of time before good things happen for him, and they've started to do that. And the scary thing is he hasn't even played his best basketball, and I think he'd be the first one to tell you that. So anything to do to boost his confidence is great.
You know, one guy we had on here last week, so we're expecting at least 30 out of Antonius for the next game because, you know, we had Isaiah Jones, and he comes out and has a really good game. It wasn't his highest scoring game this year. He had a 17-point game against Texas Rio Grande Valley, but 15 points, 8 assists, 3 steals, 5 turnovers. I think that's the most well-rounded game that Isaiah has played this year. And now with the depth at point guard, a challenge, more of a challenge. How good was it to see Isaiah Jones hand out 8 assists on Saturday?
Oh, it was great. I'm really proud of him. He did what seniors are supposed to do, and he stepped up and did what was needed of him at the time. And he's a high IQ basketball player, and he can do a little bit of everything. And I think he showed that in the Ole Miss game. He had no problem sliding over to the point guard position.
Coach Adam Gordon joining us, Redhawks assistant here on the Kofeld Distributing Redhawks Coaches Show at Wings, etc. in Cape. Boy, you guys played Ole Miss, in such a fashion that the fans were engaged all the way up into the final 2 minutes of the basketball game because the game was in question the entire way. I mean, you made Ole Miss really work hard to get that victory. How many steps forward do you think you took as a team on Saturday, despite the fact that you didn't win the game? We're talking about an SEC opponent.
Yeah, well, it started in practice earlier that week. We just we had a great week of preparation, and our guys were, excited about the opportunity to play an SEC team at home, and they came out and played like it. They played with a little fire to them, and they played together, and it was fun. It was a fun game.
How good is Stephon Moody, the star for Ole Miss? He's just not very big. I don't know if that translates to the NBA. Maybe it does. It certainly translates into him making a great living as a pro, wherever it's going to be. But what are your thoughts on Stephon Moody?
No, he's impressive. And like you said, he's not very big. He's about my size, 5'10". And to be able to score at the level that he does in the SEC at that size is really impressive. He's a good player.
His hair game is a little stronger than yours, though.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think I could pull off the dreads.
All right. As far as rebounding the basketball, you knew when Clyde Santee and Xavier Dillon were gone before the season started, and you guys had really, you had game plan to have those 2 front court guys who were really going to help you. So when they're not a part of the roster, going into the season, I think most people were kind of like, okay, it's going to be interesting to watch the front court. How are they going to do in rebounding the basketball? You've out-rebounded numerous opponents. You were right there in the Memphis game. You got out-rebounded a little bit here with Ole Miss. They had 3 6'9" guys along that front line. Are you liking what you're seeing with the way you guys are competing on the glass?
Yeah, and the biggest thing for us, even though our front court depth isn't the best right now, is we call it gang rebounding. We want all 5 guys going to the glass. So our guards, our point guards, our shooting guards, guys like Antonius, when they can give us 8 rebounds, 6 rebounds. You mentioned Isaiah Jones had 5 the other day. That's really what gives us an opportunity to compete on the glass. We can't leave it in the hands of Joel Angus and Trey Kellum, who's done a great job, but they're undersized, and they're not going to be able to get them against the 6'9" guys. So we need help from the guards.
How about Tony Anderson now, as a freshman? And we can ask Antonius this. That's a big jump to go from high school basketball to Division I. Take some time to get your footing as a freshman. Tony Anderson, 6'9". You can see the skills. You can see, the potential there with Tony Anderson. How do you see him progressing?
Yeah, Tony and another one of our freshmen, Jalen Stewart, both making the transition from high school basketball to being college freshmen. And both of them have size and a skill set that can really help us. They're just adjusting, and every day they're getting a little bit better, and it just takes time and experience.
What kind of player do you think Tony Anderson is going to be? Will he be a back-to-the-basket guy? Will he a face-up guy, kind of more like Trey Kellum? What do you see?
Well, I think the thing that makes Tony so successful, and I think the reason he's going to be a good player for us, is he can do a little bit of everything. He can shoot threes. He can handle the ball. He's a very good decision-maker, but he does have the size to be able to score around the basket. His biggest thing is consistency in his aggression. We want him to be a little bit more tougher and physical for us right now in his role as a backup center, power forward. as he gets older and his role expands, then his skill set will come into play a little bit more.
One thing SEMO has had really the last 4 years is a rim protector.
Mm-hmm.
They had a shot blocker, Nino Johnson. Tyler Stone was a tremendous shot blocker. We really haven't seen a rim protector on this roster. Is there somebody who potentially could emerge? Could a Tony Anderson somewhere going forward be a rim protector for you?
Tony can definitely affect some shots with his size and his length. Guys like Antonius Cleveland at the 3 spot, which is not your traditional rim protector position, can do that with his length. And with us, we've played a lot of 2-3 zone the last few games, and that's really helped keep people out of the paint. But yeah, we certainly don't have your prototypical center on our roster right now, which is something that, we need to get.
All right. You've got Northern Kentucky. That's going to be Saturday night. Now, this is a program in 2012 transitioned from Division II. So they're in their fourth and final year of Division I reclassification. They're in their first year in the Horizon League. They have been in the Atlantic Sun. So this is their final year, and then they're eligible for postseason competition going forward after this season. They have gotten progressively better, and they've got a guy who's going to be tough to match up with, I would think, Jalen Billups, who not only led their conference in field goal percentage, he led the nation in field goal percentage and is leading the Horizon, a guy that finishes around the basket and a guy that is a rim protector and a rebounder.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Northern Kentucky is a lot like us. They have a brand new coaching staff. They're a young team, and they have some really good pieces. They're just trying to put it all together, and they're starting to play really well. They're coming off a win against Norfolk State over the weekend, and they're going to be a fun matchup for us.
Everybody in this state knows who Norfolk State is. They knocked Missouri out a few years ago when they were a 2 seed.
That's right.
In the NCAA tournament.
That's
so
right.
we know all about.
They busted a lot of brackets, I'm sure.
There were brackets just in shreds after that one. Northern Kentucky is a team that third in their league in field goal percent, defense, and rebounding margin. I think they're a -3, but defensively they've been pretty good.
Yeah, they have, and for us on the flip side, offensively has been a struggle for us in some games, and it's just a matter of continuing to get game experience, and get comfortable in the motion offense that you mentioned earlier, and guys just staying aggressive and in that attack mode. And if Antonius can hit another 3, we'll take it.
All right, there it is. Coach Gordon predicting another triple hit here from Antonius Cleveland. All right, I talked to you before we got on here. You have recruited all over as a collegiate basketball coach. You have one recruiting story that may stand out as a funny story, ironic, a crazy where you got snowed in and you had to take a snowmobile to someone's house or anything. What's your best recruiting story?
Well, I don't know if it's the best, but my first experience doing it was at the University of Tampa, and our head coach was a guy named Richard Schmidt, and he's still the head coach there now. And Coach Schmidt prides himself on being he has an amazing eye for talent, and it doesn't take him too long to figure out if a kid can play for him or not. So we got in the car, and this is my first time ever going out on the road, and I'm sitting there. Of course, I'm driving. He's sitting in the passenger seat, sleeping half the ride. We drive about 4 hours to see a kid. We watch warm-ups in about 2 minutes of the game, and he said, "I've seen enough. Let's go."
And he knew right then.
8 hours in the car, and he knew kid was good enough. So that was it.
He just needed to see just a little bit.
That's right.
How much different is it to see a guy in person versus watching video of a guy?
Yeah, you just get such a better feel for their size and athleticism in person. You can tell
because people can make a highlight video look really good.
Yeah, everybody looks good in highlights. Yeah. If you don't look good in highlights, you're in trouble. But no, you get a better feel for their size and and their speed in person. You can get a feel on tape. You can get a feel for decision making and whether they can shoot, but really you don't get a feel for how big they are, which is important.
Well, you've got multiple scholarships to fill going forward for next season. How is recruiting going right now? I know I specifically can't talk about guys, but sure. How's recruiting going, and what positions do you think that you're looking good at right now?
Oh, it's going great. It's going great. I just got off the road yesterday, heading back out later in the week. But it's exciting. It's fun to be out, and we have so much to sell at SEMO between the facilities and the school, Coach Ray, our program, our current guys opportunity to come in and play with guys like Antonius, that's exciting to kids. So we feel like we have a lot to sell, and it's been going great. We're excited.
Excited to have you on the show. Thanks so much for the time, and we will see you Friday as we get on the bus and head to Kentucky.
Looking forward to it. Thanks,
All right.
Eric.
That's Assistant Coach Adam Gordon here at the Coalfeld Distributing Redhawks Coaches Show. Redhawks All-Conference guard Antonius Cleveland will join us after this on SEMO ESPN.
About Wings Etc. See, Wings Etc. has those award-winning jumbo wings. They're popular for both dine-in and carry-out. Now, the word is getting out about Wings Etc.'s appetizer lineup. From the ultimate nachos to the deep-fried pickle spears, frankly, they're irresistible. Friends are sharing time together at Wings Etc. They've got dining rooms filled with HD TVs tuned to the best sports programming, including NFL Sunday Ticket. The people at the next table are talking about Wings Etc.'s daily half-pound lunch special, starting at just $6.49. Plus, Wings Etc. has food and drink specials throughout the week, including 59-cent wings every Monday. Plus, there's the kids menu, and Wings Etc. is family-friendly with video games in the dining room. And the whole community is excited about how Wings Etc. is locally owned and operated, and they're proud to support local athletes, their families, schools, and teams. I guess Wings Etc. is a really big deal around here.
And now, your ESPN Radio Network local weather forecast.
National Weather Service calling for sunshine the rest of today and a high of about 57. Tonight, a slight chance of rain, 30% chance of showers tomorrow with a high of 60. Then we go downhill, 45 sunny on Thursday, 42 our high on Friday, 46 sunny on Saturday, about 52 with plenty of sunshine by Sunday, another batch of rain by Monday afternoon.
You're up to date with the latest weather forecast right here on the ESPN Radio Network.
This is Mike Golick for the best in local sports talk and play-by-play. It's SEMO ESPN.
It's the Coalfeld Distributing Redhawks Coaches Show. We are live at Wings Etc. in Cape Girardeau. We hope you'll join us every Tuesday. Maybe make plans now to join us next Tuesday as we get you ready for the Redhawks as they get set to head out on the road. They're going to head to Northern Kentucky University. It's about a 6-hour bus ride. Redhawks All-Conference guard Antonius Cleveland joining us. What's the first thing that goes through your mind when you hear 6 hours on the bus on Friday?
Bringing the pillow.
Bring the pillow?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Bringing the pillow.
You guys have been on the road a lot. I think we're up over 3,600 miles so far in road trips. Boy, it's tough not getting to sleep in your own bed very often, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, especially when you're going to play really good teams on the road as well. So that definitely makes it more tough. I believe all of it pay off come February, with conference play and hostile environment. So I believe everything happens for a reason. So I believe it definitely paid dividends for us in conference play.
Well, conference play is going to start on New Year's Eve. Belmont will come in here. I don't know how much do you take a look around the league, kind of check the standings or watch the scoreboard, kind of see what everybody else is doing. Not many teams doing a whole lot in the West Division, but over in the East, boy, there's some impressive records right now.
Yeah, I know EKU is off to a pretty good start in Belmont, but I haven't seen Belmont lately, more so because I haven't seen them on television. But I think they're like 7-4, and one thing they can do is shoot. So I'm gonna have to look at them to know that. So I know they'll be a pretty good outside shooting team and just find pretty sound offensively.
All right, we gotta get the official numbers here now. Obviously, when you came to Southeast Missouri State, one of the things was, I remember Coach Nutt saying we got to get some meat on this guy. What did you step on the scale at when you checked in as a freshman, and where are you stepping on the scale right now?
I got here at 155 when I stepped on the scale with Coach Johnson. And now I think I weighed in like at 190 last week. So he changed it on my bio. He said 188, but I think I'm 190 now. So
we got to kick it up to 190.
Yeah.
Or 191 because I know you were hitting the wings pretty hard earlier.
So I think Jeff needs to take care of that.
Yeah. Okay, Hans. We need to adjust the right. So you're talking about 35 pounds here. I mean that's over the course of 3 seasons. How tough is that? How hard do you have to work? And how much is a strength and conditioning coach involved in something like that?
Well, the eating part is not hard at all, but I'll say that definitely the workouts with Coach Johnson. I never really knew that your strength and conditioning plays a big part in your weight. So just following what Coach Johnson wants you to do and trying to eat right, even though it's hard. But I'll say that the eating part was easy, but of course the strength and conditioning was pretty hard. But I think I'm pretty good.
All right. So anybody that doesn't know, I believe your sophomore season, you were 5 feet 8 inches tall. Is that right? And tell us about the progression of your height from your sophomore season when you were 5'8" till you were a senior, and now where you're sitting.
Well, when I was 5'8", I could really shoot the ball really good, like Moody. I think I was
Stephon Moody.
Yeah, I think I could really shoot it like him. But as I got taller, I kind of lost my touch. But I'm more so just guilty and wanting to dunk versus shooting threes. So
I'd rather dunk than shoot threes too.
I still rather do that. But,
all right, so you're 5'8" as a sophomore.
Uh-huh.
Your senior year in high school, how tall were you then?
6'3".
6'3". So you're looking at 7 inches from sophomore to senior. And then from senior year to right now, what do you think you are minus the hair? Because, we could add a couple of inches, but where do you think you are right now?
I think I'm 6'6" right now.
6'6".
Yes, sir.
When you stepped on campus as a freshman, how tall were you?
6'4.5", almost 6'5".
Okay, so you've grown 1.5 inches just since stepping on campus.
Yes, sir.
1.5 inches and 35 pounds.
It's amazing.
It is incredible. How did the progression of growing quickly? How did that affect your coordination? Because I've seen some guys where they go through that growth spurt, and then all of a sudden the clumsiness seems to set in. How did you battle that?
I would say more so just it was kind of a good thing because I played point guard at 5'8", so I believe now I'm still able to pass the ball, pretty well and dribble as well. I just kind of lost my touch, as you can see, but that's pretty much about it. I wouldn't say that I'm clumsy. I do clumsy things and whatnot, but I definitely want to say that I'm a clumsy person.
No, but when you were going through the growth phase, did you see it was kind of it got at times where it was a little clumsy, where maybe you had to really adjust to all of a sudden you're growing really fast?
I hit my head on a couple of lamps from here and there. I still do, obviously. Getting on the bus, I hit my head on the top of the bus here and there sometimes. So got to pretty much watch out for objects,
All right.
Now.
You're not as deep at point guard as you were, and Isaiah handed out 8 assists the other day. Are you getting in coach's ear? Coach, I was point guard. I can play some point. Does he know that you've got point guard on your resume?
I think Coach Ray knows, but he doesn't. I guess he's not trying to see. So he always tells me to stay at the 2 or 3 spot ever since the summer. So I guess he's not, pretty much enthusiastic about the point guard.
All right. Well, we like you where you're at, and we mentioned watching you play against Ole Miss. We saw a lot more of that pull-up jumper, the mid-range stuff. You're good at getting all the way to the rim, but sometimes when there's congestion and there are 6'9" bodies in there, it's a little tougher to get to the rim. Might we see a little bit more of that pull-up in your game going forward?
Definitely. In practice, I'll try to work on it. I know Coach Gordo's been right here a lot about pulling up. And, when I pull up on the mid-range, I eliminate chances of taking the charge or just going in there with the 6'9" and the 6'8" and just making it harder for myself. So making that pull-up jump shot definitely opens up a lot of things. I also can pass out of it versus getting all the way to the goal. I can see that the big on the block right there. I can dump it down at times. But the pull-up jump shot is something that I definitely need to get back to and make it effective.
All right. You can pose as a third guard. You can pose matchup problems for the opposing teams. Are you seeing that? And do you see that as something that maybe you can take advantage of going forward with your height and length and athleticism?
Yes, sir. With the motion offense, we have this thing called a leg whip. So when I come off the block, I could post. And most of the time, the guard is always shorter than me. So I definitely have an advantage when I leg whip and get in the right situation to score. So I feel as if it's an easy layup almost, or two things can happen. Either I make a shot or get fouled, or So I definitely try to look to that, especially when the smaller guard is on me.
It looks like you're really becoming more deft at not only getting to the rim, but if you're, getting to the free throw line. Now, you've been pretty consistent, getting to the free throw line. Are you seeing that as something that could really help your game?
Yeah, yes, sir. I've always got to the free throw line since freshman year. I just had problems making them, but definitely I feel as if the harder I attack the rim, I put more pressure on the defense, which they have no choice but to either block it or foul, or I finish through the contact. So that's something that I definitely try to look forward to when attacking the basket, is just putting pressure on the defender, making them having a foul or finishing at the rim.
All right. Have you ever seen any video of Hall of Famer George Gervin, the Iceman, who had patented the finger roll? I don't know if anybody can finger roll better. I'm starting to see some really good-looking finger rolls out of you. I mean, are you starting to implement the finger roll in just a little bit more? And who has the best finger roll on the roster?
I think I got the best finger on the roster. Right. But George Gervin was definitely a great player, and his finger roll was he made it look so effortless. So
I'm seeing a hoopy start to attempt some more finger rolls, but he's not in your class though, right?
Nah, he not. He need a little more practice.
All right. You had a Sports Center top 10 moment. You still got that on your phone somewhere?
Which one?
Yeah, there we go. Which one? So you've had some Sports Center top 10 moments. So what so far, just individually, it's always about the team. We understand that, but we're gonna step aside from the team for a minute. What so far has been your best individual moment or your best individual dunk? Which one for you felt the best?
I loved the dunk against Murray last year at home over TJ South. But my favorite moment was definitely the half-court game winner against UC1 my freshman year. It's definitely my favorite moment. So it's my first game winner. So
another 3-point shot for Antonius Cleveland. That's a highlight. That's a game winner. Had you ever hit a buzzer beater before?
Growing up, I think I hit one when I was 10, but it was like it really wasn't nothing. I mean, I think it was a little wide open 3-point shot and a little dog foul, but the one against UT1 was definitely better to me versus the one when I was 10.
Well, if you're only 5'8" as a sophomore, when you were 10, you're probably like 4'6", 4'7", right?
Yeah, about 4'8".
4'8". All right. As far as getting ready to head to Northern Kentucky, then you'll head to Missouri State. So still more road games, but Northern Kentucky, have you seen very much of them on tape yet so far?
No, I haven't. I just saw that they were 2-6, so I pretty much highlighted that as we need to get that win, of course. But I haven't had a chance to check them out yet. I'm pretty sure one of the coaches do a great job of setting film up for us. So.
Are you a 3-point shooter now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there we go. He hit one in the Ole Miss game. We always ask the guys if they're on Twitter. I saw you were on your phone a couple times. You on Twitter?
Yes, sir.
All right. Where can they find you?
It's @Cleveland_4.
@Cleveland_4. All right. We're gonna check you out on Twitter. Thanks so much, Antonius. We appreciate it. We'll see you Friday. We go to Kentucky.
See you Friday.
All right. That's Antonius Cleveland, Redhawks All-Conference guard, and that is going to do it for the Colfeld Distributing Redhawks Coaches Show. Thanks to Coach Rika Patterson. Thanks to Assistant Coach Adam Gordon. Coach Ray, who is flying to North Carolina on a recruiting trip, will rejoin us next week, and we will talk to you from Kentucky on Friday night. That is the Redhawks on Saturday night as the Redhawks take on the Norse from Northern Kentucky University. ESPN Radio is coming up. So long, everybody, from Wings Etc. in Cape.